Ladies and gentlemen, talks surrounding the next Nintendo console are really starting to heat up, and I gotta admit, it's getting kinda overwhelming, it's getting very interesting, and we have a lot of stuff to break down today, so let's just go and get right into that. Yeah, I have multiple things to talk about today surrounding the Switch 2, Switch Pro, or hopefully we're still holding out hope for Super Nintendo Switch. It's very reassuring, and it's interesting, and it leaves me thinking and questioning more. But first, make sure you hit a like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram so we can keep this community growing, and let's just get right into it. So the other day, I was breaking down how they had a Breath of the Wild demo upscaled to 60 frames per second on the new Nintendo console. It was shown off at Gamescom in Germany, but it turns out that whole presentation wasn't really to show off the graphics so much as to show that the waiting time is basically non-existent. This is just a quick insert from a Nate the Hate podcast, in which a host claims to have been told that the Gamescom tech demo saw Breath of the Wild running at 4K 60 FPS. We covered this, very impressive, with the emphasis on the show being that the load times had been erased. That is crazy. That is something that is right up there with the Xbox Series S and X, and I'm going to assume the PS5. I don't have one, but I'm assuming that the load times are pretty much non-existent, and that's amazing. I don't have it pulled up right here, but I also seen another report saying that the Switch also is going to have like 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is insane, truly insane. You know, before I got my PC like a month ago, I didn't even know what RAM did. Now I do, and now I know that's impressive. And you may be saying, how is this all possible? So I'm assuming that Nintendo is going to charge around $400 to $450 with this next console, and people may be asking, well, will people even buy it? I'm sure Nintendo's seen when there was a console shortage a couple years ago, people were willing to pay $600, $700, $800 for a console, and it let them know that people are ready to spend money on things they actually want when the quality is there. So I don't think the price point is going to be the problem. I think all this stuff is possible, and you may be saying, how is this all possible on such a small device? Well, the Apple event just got done literally like a couple minutes ago, and it turns out on the new iPhone 15, all these games are coming over there, like Assassin's Creed Mirage, Resident Evil games, and more. And they're making it a gaming console. Your phone will now be a gaming console, which is crazy. So it just lets me know that, like, even though the device is small, the technology is possible. And yeah, Nintendo has to come with it now. I mean, if Apple's doing this with a phone, Nintendo, you gotta come through. Another thing that has always frustrated people with the Switch, and I've been cursed with it myself, only one time, is Joy-Con drift. My very first Switch I ever got did get Joy-Con drift. Since then I have got another Switch and a Switch OLED and multiple Joy-Con since then. None of those have ever got Joy-Con drift, but maybe I'm just being lucky. But the reason, I actually have a Switch right here. The reason why you would get Joy-Con drift is just pushing these down over and over and over. What if I give myself Joy-Con drift right now? But you just push it down over and over, it wears out. Well, apparently this patent by Nintendo, another good sign, is looking to eliminate that. New Nintendo controller patent shows possible Joy-Con drift fix. And I'm not going to break it all down because it's just a lot of words to say something simple, but basically they're going to use magnets. This is the patent, so I'm not sure which way we're supposed to be looking at this. They're going to be using magnets, so instead of the sensor actually rubbing to touch to see where you need to go, it would be two magnets that would just be sensing each other. According to the controller patent, which was first filed on May 11th, it proposes a resistance section using a magnetorheological fluid, what is going on, whose viscosity changes with magnetic field intensity and which becomes resistant when the operation element is displaced. I'm not the smartest guy here. All I know is they're basically saying they're going to use some kind of magnetic sensor to eliminate Joy-Con drift. And this is great. This patent was, I think, done like in March. So it's been done for a while and it just went public, I think, recently. Everything is lining up and this is great. And then the last thing I want to cover is this article right here. I'm just trying to hurry up. They're doing landscaping outside of my apartment because anytime I need to record a video, something is going on. But Nintendo could end a frustrating cycle with the Switch 2. And what this article is basically saying is Nintendo has never had two back-to-back home consoles be successful. And I guess they're thinking of the Switch as a home console even though it's hybrid. So we had the Switch, the Wii U, not successful. The Wii, successful. The GameCube, although highly favored by me, my favorite console of all time, not successful. The N64, successful. The Super Nintendo, not successful? I don't know. Despite being one of the most recognizable brands on earth, the Nintendo name alone has not always guaranteed the success of its products. Nintendo's history of home consoles is split fairly even between hits and misses, with the Switch being its biggest sensation to date. But with the impending launch of the Switch 2, Nintendo has a chance to do something it hasn't done since 1990, launch 2 successful home consoles in a row. And yeah, thinking back on it, that is very, very crazy to think about. In between those home consoles, Nintendo has had massive success with like the DS, the Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, even the 3DS. But it is crazy. They are hitting and missing with home consoles, and I'm so disappointed that the GameCube wasn't more successful than it was, because it's so beloved now. The Wii U, I mean, hey, what the hell are we doing here? It just looked like a precursor for the Switch, basically. Like the gamepad ended up just being the Switch, I guess, with detachable Joycons. But yeah, this is very interesting. If the Switch 2 is everything it's hoped up to be and what we're seeing so far, it's going to be successful. And yeah, Nintendo will have 2 back-to-back home console successes, even though it's kind of a hybrid console. But I'll give them that, I guess. Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about a couple things today. In the comments down below, let me know your thoughts and opinions on anything. And yeah, I'm very, very excited. I'm waiting on some news very soon for this next Nintendo console. I think it's imminent. I think it's incoming. Also, come hang out on Twitch with the community. We're having a lot of fun over there. I just became a Twitch affiliate. It's all because of you guys. And this community is amazing. But you guys know me. I'll see you soon with a new video. Peace out.